some big 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Those are some big 12 years old, man.
For some reason is when you compare how you say the size of the Caribbean kids versus the Latin American and the American kids, it's a whole difference, you know, in terms of size, heights, and those type of things. So I think you know, maybe it's what we eat.
But the level of play, I must say, the level of play is extremely high. I was pretty a lot of home runs and some good play from the Aruba squad, man. They're really representing very extremely well. And it's their first time making it
that far, yeah. As far as I know, but I think the whole organization, as I said, should be proud of the kids because first off, it is based on preparation and executing whatever they have trained over the years, because it's a team they have been putting together over a number of years.
You can see that
the results is paying off now for them.
You can see that definitely, because the squad look as a team that is really gelled properly together. They have some great pitching, strong bats. So I'm hoping who they're up against next. They were supposed to be against Chinese Taipei, I think.
I know they beat Japan. I think it was 5-1 or something like that was the score.
So they're in the finals now.
According to me, they are. But how it is that you have two divisions. You have the American side of it, where America play all the teams from the different states in America, and the winner from that then would play the winner from the international side. So Aruba, coming from who represents the Caribbean, then plays in that international bracket against Taipei and Canada and all of those different type of teams, and then the winner from that, of course, meets a team from the U.S.
Okay, all right. Let's get over to our local Little League program, and you guys. I took note that RBC has come on board again with the Little League Association to sponsor the school tournament.
School tournament, yes. Yes. So again, thanks to RBC for being a true partner in this endeavor. We have been partnering now for, I believe, the last 23, 24 years in this school tournament. And of course, every year it just gets bigger. And you know, it's if I would put it, I think it's the biggest sporting event on the island annually. We have well over 300 kids that participate in the program alone. So this year we're expecting it to even grow more, because the word that came to us already was that where certain high schools would have 2 or more teams that would participate, and that's, you know, because of kids moving from elementary over to high school now that have been in the sport all along, want to continue. So we also had discussions with a group of people from the French side who also want to have the lycée participate in the tournament as well. So those discussions are ongoing, and we hope to also have some elementary schools who were probably part of the program in the past, but now are returning this year as well.
So teams, the schools are now, you're busy with registration. So, but on average, how many is there a maximum amount of teams that you would want to participate in this tournament? Seeing the length of, for how long is the duration of the interscholastic? How long you guys?
The window that we normally book every year for the tournament is from September to December. However, given the amount of teams, we have that, you know, flexibility to also overrun into the following year up to January, February of that year. So again, it depends on the amount of teams and the amount of games that will be played. The more the better. We don't put a cap to it because it's a developing sport that we want all the schools and the kids to participate in, and hopefully that translates over now into the Little League tournament that follows shortly after, where we have a bigger and better turnout in terms of teams.
Hey, if you just joined us, you're in tune to Sports Forum here on PJD2 102.7 FM. I'm Antonio Venturin, of course, here in the studios with you. Shout out to the man, Super Dave, up there in St. Peter's, man. Got me that information. So the information coming in is that Aruba will be playing against Chinese Taipei. They still have to play against Chinese Taipei to win the tournament, to be able to win the international tournament, and then they would advance on, I think, to the finals against the US team. So shout out to Super Dave. So the game between Aruba and Chinese Taipei is scheduled for 5 p.m. today. So if you're gonna tune into that, Aruba have a lot of strong roots here. Have a lot of Arubians, aunts and Maarten, who wanna
Really locked in.
Definitely lock in and support Aruba because they were victorious against. They had a very good game against
was
Venezuela and also against Japan. Those were extremely good games. So I'm hearing. I'm seeing and hearing that just see something come across there on the WhatsApp. Someone is saying this is not Aruba's first time, but I think that's what the announcers have been saying and is on Facebook as part of what we're seeing mentioned. So it's not new. But thanks a lot, Super Dave. Thanks, always in tune to the program. Julian Richards up there in the USA. We got to also shout out Ricky Boy right down there in Texas. I know you're locked in listening, and we're going to hear from you. I'm going to hear from you after the program, most probably. But now, Mr. Hyman, the school tournament, what categories are you going to have in the school tournament, and what is it? What brackets are you looking at? Are they the same type of brackets as in Little League, or are you doing something different?
We want to do a similar setup to the Little League in the sense of, first off, we would have the T-ball. T-ballers, which runs from age 4 to 7, and of course that's the elementary school. In the T-ball section, there's a division in between the developed and the underdeveloped kids. So basically the underdeveloped, we mean those that are just starting the sport, learning the basic, and the developer, those that have been in the program for a number of years and can actually hit from coach pitching. Then we got from 8 to about 12 years old, which would be the elementary school again. So that in itself would be that division. And what we're looking at, because of the age of our kids now going to high school is much younger than when I went to high school, because we see kids now at 11, 12 year olds going to high school. So we are looking based on the when the registration comes in, the age brackets, and maybe have some divisions in that high school section.
Okay, so separate it, try to separate it, that you get a separation of the older kids from the younger kids, which would stimulate the play a bit more.
Yes, yes. So we only can make those decisions, of course, once the registration comes in, and then we'll be able to reach those decisions.
Now, what about the preparation and the coaching of the teams who will be participating in this RBC primary and high school tournament? Have the League Association assigned coaches, or are the schools required to get their own coaches? And how does the organization support the schools in preparing to participate in the tournament?
Well, first off, the schools are the ones that form the teams. So the coordinator or the principal of those schools are the ones that collect the forms and submit it and says, hey, we have 1 team, 2 team, and this is how they're separated. In terms of the coaching, a number of coaches have been around for quite some time, so they will remain with their respective schools, and some coaches, gravitate to the school that they attended to as a kid. So you have that, and then we have other coaches that are schools that are missing coaches. We then would help and assign coaches to help out.
Okay. Interesting. All right, radio listeners, if you just joined us, of course, you're in tune to Sports Forum here on PJD2. I'm Antonio venturing in here with you on Saturday, October 23rd. And my guest this morning is Mr. Michel Hyman, the president of St. Maarten Little League Association, Little League Baseball and Softball Association. You guys went over. Now, recently, 2 teams from St. Maarten, over the past couple of months, 2 selection teams from St. Maarten travel abroad. I had the coaches and some of the players from all the teams in here. Coming back from a tournament like that, the participation in a tournament like that, how do you guys go about evaluating the the performance of the teams, and is there any part where you make based on that evaluation with the coaches and stuff like that a plan is put together moving forward? How you guys?
Yes. Well, the responsibility. Once the team has traveled, the coaches are responsible for them formulating a report about their experience, and also a report detailing the performance of the kids, the individual kids. From that report, it is then discussed with the board and the coaches. And from there, then we share that information during our meetings with the coaches in terms of how to plan and prepare. And it also helps us as well as a board to also tweak our plan in the sense of if we need additional training in pitching, training in batting, those type of things. If we need to get more equipment or specialized equipment to help the sport elevate and stuff.
So looking at, I think it was the first time for the softball girls, so that was expected. But the boys team, I had the coaches here, and they were pretty much expecting a bit more from this year's squad. And now, on a developmental level, because I took note of a program from a colleague of mine, and one of the discussions was that Little League. The objective of Little League, he mentioned that the objective of Little League is not really to develop something along the line, develop the kids to be top athletes. But these tournaments that we go into are really top notch. You get the best of the best coming there. Yeah. So how can we meet both, or working towards meeting both? Because I think you guys have a difficult role.
Yeah, well, yes, Little League is to basically, encourage the kids to get into a team spirit sport, develop their skills in the sport, help build them into becoming leaders, etc., within our community, those type of things. But over the years, it has turned to becoming competitive, and most countries have put the competitiveness before teaching them more of developing or even going into that role of the vision from Little League. And we too are slowly making those changes as well to becoming very competitive. And we strongly believe that the team that went to Curacao this year would have done well. The thing is, we heard it, the kids got a bit shy.
Well, if you see the size now, for example, that I see the size of the Aruba team, for example, compared to the young man that I had in the studio with me, I could definitely see where he would get a little shy, because those guys look, the other teams look like 18 years old.
The size is one thing, the knowledge and the skills of the game is another. But we had high hopes for the team that went. Unfortunately, they didn't do well. But nevertheless, like I said, the plan is to look at what went wrong, make the corrections, and put it into a plan and move forward. And our plan is to become real competitive, because taking the helm in terms of president of the league, you know, I asked one cardinal question, and that was, do we just go to participate or we go to win? Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure if you ask any kid there, none of them want to lose. So we got to build those type of fighting spirits, and irregardless to the size that you meet, you got to fight.
What are some of the challenges that you foresee or have encountered in trying to make that transition from where league was to instead of from participating to competing? What are some of the hurdles that we have to overcome? Let's put it that way.
One of it is actually the training. One of the things that we are trying to get our coaches to do is to come together and train the kids. In that sense, I mean, because we are not fortunate like Aruba, Curacao, to have multiple fields where kids can train on, you know, or the teams can train on separately. We have one field, and we have to make use of it. Sometimes you go in the field, everybody is training the same day, the same hour.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to instill in the coaches is that, look, come together, so that even if you got 4 or 5 teams training the same day, the same hours, where you have one coach will then take outfielders, another will take catchers, another will take the infielders, and so forth and so forth, and then everybody is being trained at the same level, you know, and then it makes it more competitive on a local perspective. But you know, that has been one of the challenges that we deal with. And another thing is the lack of training days. We see teams train sometimes just once. If we really want to develop, it's about training every day. Even if you're not able to train on the field, there's you know, at home you can train at home, because you can give the kids homework as well, similar to school. You can find small places and work on drills. I'm heavily set on doing drills. Anybody know me when I practice? We start with drills, and then that, you know, filter over into the game situations and stuff. So those are the things that I see as some of the main points why what we really have to work on in getting to that level.
So facilities definitely is a big. But you guys were, I know that there were some plans to make an additional field in the back of the
yes.
current facility. Any progress on that? Any?
The plan is still ongoing. We had to halt because of finances, because, you know, everything is done from pocket. So we wanted to really start back this year and have it ready, but that is not the case. So we continue to work on it to make sure it becomes a reality.
Well, what are some of the what I mean? We are here now, and I sure you got some contractors out there who could put in. Well, what exactly is needed now to kind of make that feel? Because I see, you know,
what is needed is we need we need heavy equipment to dig some holes, to plant the poles. We need lumber to build the stand and the fencing and those type of things. We have the lighting already. We have the outfield fencing and those type of things already. We need heavy equipment to also help press and grade the field to have it playable.
Okay, so all you heavy equipment operators out there, man, come on, should be able to make a contribution towards the league to make this definitely work out. Let me just give you an update here on because next week, August 30th, next week Saturday, you have the annual Health and Sports and Culture Expo. That's going to be taking place at the John Cooper Hossa Lake Ballpark. It starts off there at 7 a.m. and going up until 1 p.m. And this is an annual showcase where sports and culture, health, sports, and culture come together to kind of sensitize the population on the offering of sporting activities for everyone. So you're gonna have this year, of course, they're gonna have free health screenings, blood pressure, diabetes, HIV testing, and then you got if you're feeling fit enough, they got the police obstacle course challenge. So if you think you can handle that, definitely you got to be out there at the John Cooper Hosa Lake Ballpark to check that out. Then they got cultural fitness, they got Zumba and Capoeira, yoga as well. Try yoga if you want to try some yoga. Admissions is free, and you can do you can try out some of those activities. This is organized, of course, by the Department of Culture, Sports, and CPS this year. So make sure and check that out next week, August 30th, at the John Cooper Hosa Lake Ballpark. You're gonna have the annual Health, Sports, and Culture Expo. So you can expect colleagues Clara Reyes and Janelle Richardson. They're going to be on the airwaves coming during this week, of course, promoting this. So you're going to get more information from them during the course of the week. But you heard it here first, of course, on Sports Forum. So make sure and pencil that into your agenda for next week, Saturday. Now, Mr. Hyman, are you guys going to be out there from the league as well, trying to because one of the objectives is to get parents and youngsters interested in the different forms of sports at that health and culture and sports. You guys going to be out there with a booth signing up youngsters, or?
Well, I have to check with the secretary to find out if anything came in and if there's any plans. But at this point, I can't really say much because I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Now, you're also into AA baseball, and we know that AA baseball is ongoing.
Correction, I've been sitting on the sideline the whole year.
Yes, you're sitting on the sideline. Well, that makes you a good analyst this year, analyst for sure. The season they're off, they into the finals. You were there last night for the game. I announced it. I know Quisquianos defeated the Tigers pretty easily. What do you think the Tigers would have to do to be able to stop that powerful machinery from the Quisquianos? Because Quisquianos seems kind of strong and unbeatable to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm not sure about any team being unbeatable, but the thing is, from the game last night, I think there were too much errors from Tiger's side. Started in the very first inning, the first batter hit the ball to the third baseman with a bad throw. They scored, I believe it was 5 runs in that inning, and then it was a kind of a seesaw game where they come back, they tied or went ahead and stuff, and I believe Tony Gibbs' son, Leandro Gibbs, came up big for them, in I believe it was the second inning where he hit a grand slam.
Wow.
So it was a very good game, in the
so the Tigers definitely showing they're not rolling over and playing dead for the Quisquianos.
No, and the thing about it is that they have basically they're playing with a watered down version of their team.
I mentioned that, yeah.
Number of their players, returned back to the US or even the Holland for school, so they're playing with a watered down version, because we saw it in the outfield last night where they really missed Tyreek Lambert. Because a number of those balls that were hit in the outfield,
he would have definitely gotten them.
Definitely, and they missed some defensive players and stuff that would have helped them narrow down those errors to basically little or nothing.
I think they lost two pitchers in Erwin Richardson and what's the other young man named? He also went back to school in the U.S.
Can they call him
Coco.
But I understood that he's still on the island. I haven't seen him, but I understood that he's still on the island.
Okay. So maybe we're gonna see our parents from him then.
Maybe. But other than that, it would have been a much closer game than it did. Again, like I said, if the arrows were lessened or had zero of it. But yes, Cristianos, it's a more experienced and powerful team. You have a number of guys from the first batter going down to their fifth batter, because you have Sint that leads off. Is a very good player, aggressive, runs fast.
He does the catching for them.
Yes. Then after him, you have René Mota.
Left field.
It's another good player, runs fast. Then third, I believe you have Mark Ramirez, powerful hitter, good arm, can run as well. Then you have Edwin Wade Jr.
Forward back and forth.
Power hitter, but he has a ailment which I believe is his leg, his arm.
The hamstring, yeah.
That.
It's still bothering him a bit.
Yeah. And then you got Malachi in the lineup as well too. That's a good power hitter as well. And then you have one or two others right after them. But again, sitting on the sidelines, I think if it come pound to pound, they would have a good matchup either in between Elite and Dodgers.
Well, Alvarez has been really Alexander Alvarez has been really strong on the mound for the Cristianos as well.
Yes, he has been one of the dominant pitchers in the league for a number of years, because he can throw today and come back tomorrow and give you the same performance. I must say kudos to the coach, the manager, Eddie Deadwood, for I would say hiding what's his name, Adonis
Reyes.
If you notice, Adonis comes in through 2 innings and that's it. So he becomes more of a closer now rather than a starter, and we know that Adonis can really give you a good 7 inning games if he really goes out and put his all to it.
I always remember that game against the Santa Maria Pirates. I think it was at Curacao. He really held them down and did a fantastic job for St. Martin. And that season, he was really. I think he have an injury. He injured the arm or something, because he lately we haven't seen much of him pitching. But I think in the previous seasons, he was almost a man of steel on the mound.
Well, I saw him throw an inning last and actually close the game. And if he has an arm injury, I would like to have that same injury too. He was really bringing the ball, But again, I don't know if it's because of an injury, but I think if it's based on a strategy to hide him as much as possible, I think it works well in their favor.
So when you bring him out,
Yeah, let the others carry the game and bring him in to close. Because every team needs a closer, and it's a great strategy to have him doing that. And we don't have much southpaw pitching on the island, and I think he is maybe one or two that left, and it's a good strategy.
How would you rate? We spoke about Alvarez, the other pitchers in the league, in the AA league, because for example, we're gonna get down to the Dodgers, but I see they've been trying a lot of new pitchers that. I mean, for me, I know a long time I haven't seen those guys on the mound. But for example, the Dodgers has brought out a lot of new faces to pitch.
Yes. For what we have seen is, for instance, we have seen less actually of Demetrio Williams-Mitty.
Yeah.
I believe that's due to some injury he has, and we know he can really dominate
He was a great pitcher, yeah.
If he's 100%, he can really give you a good game. We have seen where Mr. Thomas, Johnny Thomas' son, he has also done some pitching. He has.
I was of Gershwin.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I saw him pitching in softball in fast pitch, and then I saw him on the mound in Double A. I was kind of surprised, but he's taking on a good role, yeah.
Yes, so they have some good arms, but a lot of them lack mechanics. You know, and any pitcher will tell you, you know, if you use your arm alone, you won't last long. You gotta have the footworks and everything that goes with it, that helps you, well, you know, helps with your speed and everything, your landing and everything.
So let's go over to the Dodgers 7-1 Elite Series, because I think that's where we are expecting the biggest battle to come to go down. I know I mentioned previously in the program that the Dodgers was on a 5. They went into the playoff on a losing stretch, but hopefully they're gonna be able to.
I think the game before the last game they played, they beat I think it was the Jays or someone. So they broke the
way. All right. All right, I stand corrected. So the Dodgers versus the 7-1 Elite, and I think during the regular seasons, the matchups between them, they were evenly matched up.
Yes, I mean, taking nothing away from Elite, they have some good pitching. You have what's the Dominican guy named
Frank.
You have
Frankie Cepeda and his brother.
Yes, you have Frank, who has a good fastball, who has also off-speed changeup that goes with it. You also have the young guy.
I know he was here in the program. He's under the. He was what? Can't remember his name as well, but yeah. That's their top pitcher, yeah.
So you have those guys that has good velocity and stuff, but on the flip side, you also have the Dodgers, who have experienced players, good back speed and everything, and if using it wisely, I think they would really put up a good fight against Elite.
I think Dodgers is running on Dodgers' main pitcher right now is Pedro Cola, a very experienced pitcher, good pitcher,
good batter as well too.
Yeah.
And you know, I think, you know, you can't.
Juan Carlos, thanks. Juan Carlos is the name that we were looking for. Thanks, Soldier.
You can't take away from Cola. I think his bat will be needed in the lineup as well too, because he can really, you know, hit the ball well. And if you have for instance, the Dodgers, because the Dodgers has a number of players that has good speed. If I do that in comparison to Elite, Elite have 2 dominant runners, which is Harry and Martel. Those are the 2 guys that you want to keep off the base.
Martel, his bat, that's going to be difficult because Martel has been he's been hitting consistently all season and getting on base.
Yes. So keeping them off the base would lessen the runs from Elite. And definitely, because those 2 really make you, have to always be thinking what next. In comparison today, you have from the Dodgers side, you have Scrumbo, you have
Jalen Constance,
the Constance brothers that can run. You have also Nisio that can run, and a few others that have speed. And again, if they utilize their skills the right way.
Is Dodgers missing a good power, some good power hitters in the lineup, because they have they don't have that. If you compare, for example, you know that Quisquillanos, when you come around the 3rd and 4th bat, Ramirez, the Weir, big batters. Then Elite, you have you have Pinto, a big bat.
It's power against speed, if I may put it in that sense. And I kind of match the Dodgers similar to what the Owls were a few years ago. We didn't have power. The only power hitter there was Edwin Deadwood. But other than that, everybody else could have hit a home run. But the game was hit, find the holes, hit the balls, and run. You know,
strategies for Dodgers. If you were managing the Dodgers, or strategies to defeat the elite, and opposite, how with the team, the players that you have on the Dodgers, what would be your strategies to defeat the elite? And then I'm going to ask you the same thing. If you were managing elite with the players and the team that you have, what strategies you would employ to defeat the Dodgers?
I mean, you mentioned it. Look, elite is a power hitting team. Dodgers has to focus on, again, the small ball game. Use that to their advantage. Force the opponents to play your game. Don't play their game. You know, everybody wants to go because the fence is only 300 feet and want to hit it, and no. Let's focus on hitting the ball, getting on, and executing the runs, moving them around. Score the runs, lessen with the man left on base, and lessen your errors, for sure.
I think errors in any game is going to be critical.
Because this whole tournament is going to be about the dominance of pitching. And you have to use your pitching wisely in a short series, because most of our pitchers on the island, you throw today, you got to give them at least 2-3 weeks before they can recuperate to give you the same 100% again. So the pitching is going to be the dominance factor in this whole tournament. And again, like I said, if Dodgers can stay together as a team and play the game, focus on the game and stuff, they're going to really reap havoc. I mean, they came out the chute running in the beginning of the tournament. I believe they won the first 5 games or something like that, because they played as a team and they were having fun at it. All of that went through the window, and if that comes back, they would be a force to reckon with.
Definitely a good squad. I think that's going to be a great matchup. The game kicks off tonight at 7:30. I think it's 7:30. So you got to be out there. No, just before we close off, Mr. Hyman, registration, is there a deadline to register for the RBC school tournament?
Well, we tentatively have set, I believe it's the 29th of September as the starting date. The fact that school just started this week, we hope that we can get those information in at least by the middle of next month, because we will be reaching back out to the coaches and the school coordinators as well to see how far they have been. But I know, we try to give them that little leeway because of the start of school. They're in the preparation phase and everything. So we want to give them that window and then reach back out to them and see how far we are with that.
Any final words before we close off with you, Ms. Hyman?
Well, you from the baseball side, yes, I think the fans should come out and really watch the games. The first game today, I believe, started at 4 o'clock.
Oh, 4, and I'm saying 7:30.
No, 4 o'clock between Elite and Dodgers, and then 7, the Kisquianos and the Tigers match up their second game. So the fans should come out and witness a good game. I believe it's going to be interesting. And, you really want to love what you see.
All right. So there you had it from Mr. Hyman. And, of course, we want to thank everyone for tuning into the program this morning. And we apologize for the late start, but we're going to be back with you next week again with another interesting program. As I say in closing, always be happy with what you have while working for what you want. And God is the greatest. Until next week, take care. Bye-bye.